Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Microsoft Flight Sim video. Today we're going to have a look at some sceneries, because, well, there's lots of them, and you're probably scratching your head, where's the best ones at? So this list today, there's some of my absolute favourite. It includes some payware and freeware, so it'll hopefully suit everyone's budget. So starting off, here we find ourselves in the United States, in Las Vegas, and this scenery is by Fly Tampa. Now, Fly Tampa, you know, they've been making scenery for quite some time on other platforms, but what they're doing so far in Microsoft Flight Sim, I'm loving it. So this one here features McCarran Airport, KLAS, and they haven't just included the airport, which, by the way, is massive. A number of different terminals, all in staggering and stunning detail. They've also included Las Vegas, the whole city. And it's, you know, it's in staggering detail. Absolutely fantastic. So they have the airport modelled with PBR. Las Vegas is modelled with custom buildings and animations. There are 3D bridges, animated vehicles. There's even trains and trams. Sloped airport terrain, dynamic lighting, and also animated jetways. One of the things which is just, you know, you scratch your head. It's a $19.99 add-on. So for $20, you're getting all of Las Vegas and McCarran. And it is true to life. They have static aircraft. You can see Southwest Park down there. But one of the treasure hunts of this scenery, I suppose, there are so many billboards and they're all different. So even just to go exploring and just seeing the madness that is Vegas, it's staggering. It's amazing. So you can pick this up over on Fly Tampa's website. And I have to say, it works very, very well. It's about a 2 gig download. But I have 0 to like almost unnoticeable impact when I'm flying here. And that could be anything from, you know, a GA airplane to an airliner. It's heavily optimized. I think it got an update during the summer as well. So I'll show you off some of the features, some of the sites, I suppose. And it's Vegas. This has to be done at nighttime. Do you know what I mean? They even have slot machines inside some of the terminal buildings. It's nuts. Right, let's check it out. So next up we visit the United Kingdom, and we're here in Essex in London Southend Airport. This scenery is created by PilotPlus. These guys are really making a great name for themselves in Microsoft Flight Simulator. This airport, I think it's an absolute gem. You know, it's the attention to detail here is fantastic. They have their own custom ortho, which is your, you know, satellite imagery. And the use of PBR, they have fantastic rain effects on the control towers, which are fully modelled on the inside. The static aircraft that they have, they've Ryanair parked up here, they have EasyJet. And the airport itself, you know, Wizz Air, Amazon, Joda, they all serve this airport. So there's plenty of options if you're flying in and out of London. The key features is an ultra-realistic rendition of London Southend, full PBR implementation, from the buildings to airside clutter, and also ground objects. Dynamic rain on the towers, custom refined aerial imagery, and it gives you an authentic night experience. You can purchase this for $18.52. It's available through Orbx, which is really, really handy. So any updates, you know, they let you know when there's an update through Orbx Direct. Very, very handy indeed. Now, there's one thing that's very, very special about this, because, well, the developers have put a lot of time and effort into some of the static models that you see. You know, you can see the Boeings and a couple of Airbuses. They also have a Vulcan, which is amazing to see. So yeah, we'll do the same again, bit of music, and show this place off. So next up we visit South Africa, and this is Cape Town. It's the city pack, part of the Orbx landmark series. Such other phenomenal cities include Sydney, Singapore, London and Paris. Now this is relatively cheap and cheerful. It's $9.71 and it's about a 5 gig install. So there's a lot happening here. But Cape Town, you know, it has the incredible Table Mountain and the amount of buildings is just staggering. So they have several high quality custom landmarks, including the Cape Town Stadium, Castle of Good Hope and the University of Cape Town. Then they put in more than 110 medium custom landmarks, balancing quality with performance, and there's also many enhancements made to the city, including the vegetation, building placement, industrial areas and power stations, even the chimneys. There is a specific focus on the harbour areas with a diversity of custom vessels and port infrastructure. You can actually land on some of them ships, some of the helipads. Lots of fun. Extensive terraforming across the coverage area, enhancing how their custom landmarks sit within Microsoft Flight Sim's terrain. Custom ortho imagery covering all the city and the western bays. Custom night lighting, which is very fancy. And they also have an anti-poaching campaign laser. It's projected up onto the side of Table Mountain. So, like everything else, we'll check it out. But I have to say, this is a phenomenal city to explore with the sheer number of buildings that you have. And the local airport, Cape Town International, is one of the handcrafted ones from Microsoft Flight Simulator. So without further ado, let's check out this place. Next up we visit New Zealand, and this is from NZA Simulations, and it features Nelson Airport. It's on the Southland here in New Zealand. It's available through Orbx Direct. It's for sale for $21.01 US, and it's about a 4 gig download. Now it's massive in every sense of the word. It's one of the most detailed airports you can get. Wait till you hear this. It features more than 9,000 hand-placed objects, more than 250 custom assets, more than 50 unique custom buildings. It has a fully 3D modelled interior of both the terminal and the control tower. They've included all the shops, all the seating areas, the Air New Zealand Kuru Lounge, the check-in and baggage handling areas. So much so, one of the guys had said, Murph, this is one of his favourite places to explore in VR. He just goes walking around just to see everything. There's so much detail here. Now, there is a bit of a performance hit, but not much. And to be honest, the trade-off from what you get out of the scenery versus, 5 or 6 FPS, I think it's more than worth it. So, like the others, we'll check it out, see how it looks. Sit back and just marvel in what NZA have created. Next up, we visit Ireland, and this is a freeware scenery, and it is that of Casement Aerodrome, Baldonnel in County Dublin. Echo India Mike Echo. It's home of the Irish Air Corps. Now, Jeppeson 2001, the man, myth and legend, handcrafted this using photographs that are available in the public domain. The airport itself features exquisite detailing when it comes to the layout, custom buildings, custom assets. This is fantastic, and the level of detail Jeppeson has gone into here, it's staggering. I was born and raised here, so I can account on its authenticity. Fancy words, Murph. But it's freeware. It's available over on our own website to pick up. The airport itself, located in County Dublin, a fantastic place to local fly around Ireland or even tip across into the UK or Europe. The airport itself, it can handle up to, would you believe, a 757. They've landed one here a couple of years ago. Mainly it's used for Air Corps operations, which include heliops, also with the PC-12s and PC-9s. There's a lot of history here. This is the starting point of the famous flight of the Bremen, which was the first aircraft to go across the Atlantic in 1928 from the east to the west. The airport itself features so many custom buildings, including the Lady of Loretto Church. All hangars are present, the gymnasium, and the entire perimeter fencing, all 5.5 kilometres of it, is in place. Jeppeson has really done a phenomenal job here, and would you believe it was his very first scenery for Microsoft Flight Sim. Next up, we have another freeware scenery, and it is that of Duxford Airfield. Echo Golf Sierra Uniform. Freeware available over on flightsim.to. This was developed by a dude called ChicoMick, and it's fantastic. It actually comes with two different types of scenery files. So one is the airport and all the buildings and what have you. You also have an air show scenery which can be added on to this. It puts in, a whole load of people. It's absolutely brilliant. I've had the chance to visit Duxford during the year, and I can attest to the quality and accuracy of this freeware scenery. It's absolutely staggering. The airport itself features some static models of some Spitfires, and it even has some interesting larger aircraft on the main ramp. The runways include both grass and asphalt, and it's just a phenomenal scenery just north of London, ideal if you're flying in any of the Warbirds and all the vintage aircraft. The performance is absolutely fantastic. I'll also leave a link to all of these sceneries in the description below. So let's check it out. So next up, we're back in the United States, and this is Catalina Airport out on Catalina Island. It's from Orbx. This was first released, I think, back in the FSX days. They used to use the ESP platform, but it's been completely overhauled and rebuilt, taking full advantage of what's on offer in Microsoft Flight Sim. The scenery is for sale through Orbx. It's one of their own products. You can pick it up for $16.19, and it's a nearly 7 gigs of an install. This is huge. But there's a lot going on here. I mean, there's custom vegetation, there's a lot of POIs, so many custom assets and buildings. It looks fantastic. It's one of my favourite airports to kind of start flying off in the sim. And the reason why I like it so much is purely down to how close you are to Los Angeles and also anywhere around the West Coast. It's fantastic. Next up, we have a look at a scenery by SimWorks Studios. They did this in partnership with Area 77, and it features the Okavango Delta in Africa. This place is fantastic. Now, it's been released for quite some time. I do know they're working on an update for it. You can pick it up over on their website, simworksstudios.com, and it's also available through Orbx. Current price is €23. The download size is about 780 megabytes. It's only about 1.5 gigs, give or take, on your system when it's fully installed. Wait till you hear this. It features over 9,000 square kilometres of scenery with hand-placed wetlands and objects, more than 12,000 animals spread across the area. It includes 9 custom airstrips, 6 camps modelled in very high detail, even with the building's interior after being modelled. Many smaller camps located throughout and tour groups, multiple helipads scattered around the area. They also include a repaint for the default Cessna 208 in the Safari Wings livery, and it has 2 bus trips to fly around the Delta. Now, there is just so much to show off on this, so we're just going to look at this. You need to get it. If you want to go on safari, if you want to explore Africa, this neck of the woods, this is really, really good. It's fantastic. And, we did this in a stream and we had all sorts of fun trying to find the lions, but we eventually did. It's a lot of fun, this scenery. It's very well made. It runs really, really well. The amount of trees is just incredible. And it's really cool exploring all the different camps. And they are in amazing detail. There's an absolute clutter of 3D objects with people and animals, buildings, vehicles, the whole lot. And all the airstrips, they're all your normal bush kind of airstrips, dust and gravel and dirt. It's a lot of fun. So this is definitely highly recommended. Now, for our last scenery today, it'll feature an entire island. This is Aldnerney Island. It was designed by Boundless and then reconfigured to work in Microsoft Flight Sim by iniScene. This is incredible. So it includes the airport, but also the island itself. There is a ton of detail here. It's a faithful rendition of the island of Alderney, high-resolution hand-corrected ortho imagery spanning the entire island, custom buildings for VFR landmarks, several forts, and hundreds of custom hand-placed objects. Corrected mesh and realistic runway configurations, custom ground poly by iniScene, and has 4K PBR texturing in the airport area, also made possible by iniScene. You can pick this up over on the iniBuild's website. You can pick it up for about £9.99. It is fantastic. One of the things I really like about this island is how well they've done the water masking, especially around the coast where you can kind of see that it's almost like coral underneath. It looks amazing. And the runway itself, it's a challenging one to get in and out of because the weather here, it's always unpredictable. So let's check this one out. So there we have it, some of my favourite sceneries and airports currently available in Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you're also wondering how the trees are looking all kind of fancy, that's with the new Rex Accu Seasons. I'm having a lot of fun with that. So if you're interested in that add-on, do be sure to check out the live streams every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 2000 Zulu over on twitch.tv/Two-Tone Murphy. So let me know in the comment section below what your favourite airports are. Do you agree with mine or do you think I missed something? So until the next one, look after yourselves. We'll see you soon.